Mindful of the difference between EF and EFS lenses. EFS is for the cropped sensor models, e.g. Rebel XTI, whereas EF are usually for full frame sensor models like 5D. You can fit EF lenses on an EFS body, but you can't fit EFS lenses on a full frame body. So if further down the line you trade that at Rebel XTI for a full frame model, those EFS lenses won't work. So that means that I'm likely going to be getting EF lenses today so that I'll be forward compatible with our Canon camera in the future. Also, Canon doesn't ship lens hoods with their lenses that aren't part of the L range. So you're going to have to buy a separate lens hood for that lens if it's not an L, which means luxury model. IS, image stabilization, is another feature to look out for lenses for if you have more shaky hands than you realize, if you discover that. Since the body doesn't have this, the technology in any IS you'll get will be from the lenses. The benefit of this is that you can see the IS effects through the viewfinder, because remember, it's a DSLR. Number 2, battery grip. Picture the scene. Your baby is in Ponzi's arms. We have a baby? Well, actually,
we do.
Pixie is in Ponzi's arm right now, our dog, and is about to yawn for the first time. You reach out for your camera and attempt to snap this amazing moment, only to find out that the battery is dead. I'm sorry, Wicket. Did I freak you out there? There you go. Sorry. There you go. Here, you want to help me? Thank you. Okay. This is the other baby we have. Not only has this happened to me, but you can imagine you'd be pretty livid if this were to happen, regardless of how organized you were with batteries, which is why I recommend a battery grip for your Rebel XTI. Not only can you store 2 batteries worth of power within the grip, but it also allows you to hold your camera vertically much easier and has additional controls while holding in that position. The official Canon model is the BGE3, but if you find that's too pricey, there are some other ones out there which are basically the same but don't sport the Canon name. Unbranded, if you will. Number 3, flash gun and diffuser. Whilst the flash is acceptable on the camera itself, it can never fully compare to a proper flash gun. With one, you can adjust its angle so you can bounce the flash off of walls or ceiling for a less direct flash. Or even better, use an off-shoe camera cord and manually control the direction of the flash with your hand off camera. Take a look at the offerings from Canon's Speedlight range. They're sure to get you going a bit. I also recommend getting a flash diffuser. Basically, it's a small device which softens the flash from the flash gun, which is especially useful if you need the direct flash but don't want the harsh shadows that go with it. Getting some kind of bounce flash was one of the most handy tips I ever received when I first started shooting at least digital photos, when I learned of that tip. You basically hold something and it triggers when these bounce flashes, you can hold them off camera and they'll automatically flash when they detect a flash from your regular camera. You just put batteries in them, and they don't need to be any certain brand, and you can point it any direction and test which light works best. Number 4, tripods or monopods. And this was kind of, I guess, another tip that we've mentioned before. Tripods are fantastic if you want to take shots which just aren't possible in a handheld. Let me try that again. Tripods are fantastic if you want to take shots which just aren't possible handheld. That makes sense. I have a bit of a soft spot for long exposure shots, as do I. I recommend something from the Giotto's and Velbon range. Again, I won't name specifics because everyone has their own taste, so I suggest you get down to a store and have a feel, tug at its joints, and play around with it. A monopod isn't a must, but if you feel the need to reduce the camera shake in those moments but don't have the time to set up a full tripod, it may come in handy. I have, I think it's, what's the brand? Anyway, it's a brand I just picked up locally, and I'm sure it'll come to me in a minute. But it's a tripod and a monopod, so that the part where it screws onto your camera, you can actually pop that out, and it's a monopod. So it's a tripod, but then it pops out, and then there's also a monopod with the tripod, which is great for carrying it around. Not necessarily the best quality tripod out there, but the fact that I can use it in 2 different situations makes it absolutely amazing. What is this? Disregard everything this man says. I hope you're not talking about this guy. Number 5, camera bag. You've got the equipment. Now you need a container. I have several camera bags, namely a backpack. Wait a minute, he's talking about me. Why would you disregard everything I was saying? I'm just reading someone else's tips. So if you got a problem with him, you're talking about you. Okay. Sorry, this is what happens when I read the chat in the middle of recording videos. He was saying pay no attention to anything that he had actually said. Sorry. Okay, anyway, we'll continue. Camera bag. You've got the equipment, now you need a container. I have several camera bags, namely a backpack if I want to carry a tripod, laptop, and a few lenses for a long trip, or a small messenger bag for just the camera and another lens. Unfortunately, I find that most camera bags look too much like camera bags and are begging to be swiped. He recommends Crumpler. It's not cheap, but they do make attractive bags. And whilst now thieves have caught on that Crumpler bags are what more and more photographers are using, for the most part, they disguise themselves pretty well and being passed off as just a bag. They make a large range of backpacks and messenger bags for photographers, so do check them out. If you don't mind that obvious camera bag look, check out bags made by Lowepro. That's Lowepro. Their sling bags are a favorite for photographers, and their range is very respectable. So that's that. I wish you the best of luck in your photographic efforts, coming from one enthusiast to another. Keep up the great work on the show, and I look forward to watching more of your videos. Sincerely, Calvin. Calvin, again, I appreciate these top 5 tips, as does my wife Ponzi, and because I've been shooting photography for quite a while, ever since at least the 7th grade, and have of course adored digital photography because you have an unlimited supply of film. It's one thing you got to keep in mind. That's a good tip. It goes on forever, and you can delete the ones you don't want. Well, I know it's not film, but memory, right? Unlimited memory. Sorry, my wife corrected me there. You're a shutterbug now. Is that what you are?
I would like to be.
She's a budding shutterbug, I guess. The world is ending, Cygnus says. See, this is okay. So, thank you again. If anybody else out there's got a top 5 list, feel free to email it to me, Chris@Pirillo.com. About anything, whether it's photography, digital photography, or what. I don't care. I love these top 5 lists that you're submitting. In fact, the less technology-oriented it is, the happier I am. Because I know a little bit about technology, but there's so much that I don't know about. And these top 5 lists are great for everybody in the community, those of you watching on YouTube or subscribe to my blog and whatnot. And if you hadn't figured it out, yes, there's a live chat going on. I was paying attention to it, and when I do that, I get drawn in. Because it is addictive. Talking with people, and I think, how many do we have in chat right now? 500 people in the chat room right now, with approximately 560 people watching me right now. Not just on the recorded video, I mean live, because we're recording this live. We stream this out live. Quit, are you making faces? Ponzi, my wife, is mocking me here, and she's, like I said, she's just like, you're mocking me. I'm going to take a picture of you mocking me. I'll do it. Anyway, if you'd like to join us in our chat room, we're typically talking about technology, software, hardware, internet stuff. Talking about top 5 tips you may have submitted to Chris@Pirillo.com. But that's my email address. If you want to join us in the chat room, you're welcome to, so long as you're a nice person. And all you got to do is open up your web browser and surf on over to live.Pirillo.com.